Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of BeautyTainment Podcast. I'm your host, Claudia Aceves. You can find me at Vanidosa Beauty on Instagrammies. And this is my co-host, Roundy.
So everybody can find me at Boy Savage on Instagram.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
So today we have
The Vanidosa team.
Somebody really special, our Vanidosa crew, our Vanidosa team that makes everything happen. We all work as a team. So here they are. This is Vanya. Vanya, say hello.
Hi, everyone. I'm Vanya. You can find me at aestheticsxvanya_ on Instagram.
Isn't she the cutest? And then we have Jatziry.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jatziry. You can find me at Vicious Brows on Instagram.
And she's fucking killing it, guys. So I feel like we're all killing it in our perspective area. And then I feel like working together is just making us better. But I digress about how awesome we are.
You guys are doing all right. I'm killing it, though.
Yeah, it's like it's all him,
Yeah.
by the way. Like we just sit down and like do little brows.
If I step away from the office, it all falls apart.
Literally.
Yeah, well, the other day it did.
You left us.
Yeah. We were all like super busy. We were like, oh my God, people are coming in. What's going on?
Where's Roundy?
Where's Roundy? Get Roundy. Oh, he went to hang out with his friend.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. During working hours, guys.
I had a boys' day.
Yes.
I think so, huh?
Yes.
I hope you had fun.
I did have fun. It was fun. Shit,
Because
I don't get too many of those.
No, you don't. Well, now you get a lot.
My probation officer don't let me.
Yeah. Well, there's things to be done.
My parole officer.
During work hours, sir.
All right, guys. So we're going to get to it. What is the worst interaction you've had so far?
Ooh.
Name names. What do they look like? When do they come in?
How did it make you feel?
How does it make you feel?
Well, mine, I would say the most recent one, she was just a meanie head.
She was right?
really mean.
Like, why are people mean like that?
Yeah, like, I'm doing you a service. I have control of the service, and you're coming in with a stinky attitude.
And first of all, like, I'm tattooing your fucking face.
Yeah.
Like, create a good vibe when you come in, no?
Exactly.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
she totally killed my vibe. Like,
Oh, yeah,
it was
I remember
over
that day
for
you
me.
were.
Like, she threw me off so bad.
And I think, like, the rest of the day you were kind of like, wah,
Yeah,
wah.
it sucked. It really sucked.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of the part that we have to deal with, like, other people's vibe.
Yes.
You know, like, I think, so Vanya has been doing brows for a bit over a year. Jatziry, 4 or 5 months or so. I've been doing this shit for 10 years. So, like, I feel like now it really has to be something really, really bad in order to, like, fuck up my vibe. But I think it took a long time to, like, be able to control myself because, you know, I get spicy.
Oh, I used to come home and take it out on everybody.
I went home and punched you.
We went home on a rampage, breaking dishes and throwing the table over.
And beating the kids with wooden spoons.
We were all hiding in the corner and shit.
Oh, mom had a bad day. She had a bad brow day.
I'd go to work the next day with a black eye, and all the guys at work be like, "What happened to you, bro?" Glad I had a bad day, dude.
Or did tell him I hit myself on the door.
I fell down the stairs that we didn't have.
But like, I don't get it. Like, if you're gonna get a service, to me, like, let it synchronize. Get to like create good energy. You know, when you come in, and that's one of the things I think people don't think about. Like, if you're nervous. We understand nervousness, you know?
That's different.
Yeah, I feel like you're really good when your clients are nervous. You just like talk to them and, you know?
I like to talk to them. And I feel like, well, this one, the recent one, it was bound to happen. Like, it was already a year. Like, no me había tocado, so ya era hora, but...
It was
what
time.
was her name?
It was time.
I don't know.
Nah,
Give us her Instagram. I forgot.
Yeah.
Hey, Jatziry, what about you? What's your worst one so far?
Well, I mean, I haven't had that many. I would just say, like, with the recent lady I did.
Why is it recently because like the weather's changing, or was it the lunar eclipse, or not the lunar, the solar eclipse?
All
the freaks came out.
all the rachatonas are coming out.
Rachatonas for real.
Yeah, it's kind of like how y'all said, like as soon as they come in, like if the vibe's off, like it kind of throws everything off. So she came in asking, so how many have you done? I was like, I can't count them with my hands no more. You're not in the 10th no more.
I can't count you in my hands. Like, that's a good sign.
I literally had to say that.
Oh,
I was
did
like,
you say that?
Yeah. I was like, I don't know. I was like, I can't count you in my hands anymore, you know? So I was like, so that tells you I've done more than 10. You're not like one of my first ones.
Should have told her, well, how much do you want to pay?
I know, right? Like, I should have been like, well, how much is your balance?
Right?
Yeah, no, that was it. Throughout the whole like process or the service, she was okay. She
was okay after?
I think she was just like nervous about it and like, you know, didn't want her to get her face messed up, which I understand.
Yeah,
for sure.
And I think like I think we all understand like it's a permanent service, and one of the things, and I think because one of the reasons that we all get along really well is because we all understand that it's like almost like a sacred service. Like once you tattoo somebody's face, you can't unfuck it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think when they come in, we already know that they're gonna be nervous, and like we try to control the vibe. But if you come in and you have like a caca face, like,
Oh my
that
God.
shit throws us. It can throw the vibe off completely.
Yeah.
That's how you end up with messed up brows.
And
like
that's
that.
that's what
exactly.
happened.
Like,
Yeah.
you're never going to
You
be
do it on
satisfied.
purpose, huh?
No, never. No, that's
So over
not
there
my
fucking
goal.
all doing all chueca and shit.
Right.
It messes you up. It throws you
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
Like, it sucks.
And it sucks. And I think like, I don't know what, you wouldn't go into a doctor's office and go like, so what's wrong with me? Like, what makes you think that you can come into a service industry and be like, so how many eyebrows have you done?
Yeah.
No.
Or how's it
Or
gonna
like-
look?
Yes. Oh my God.
How's it gonna look? You're like, I don't know.
Or they'll say like, I'm nervous because I don't know how it's gonna look. Like, or do you expect them to look bad? Like, what do you expect?
Yeah,
Like, I'm
and
not gonna give you.
I'm
bad
not gonna
brows.
give you bad brows. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think too, like, people have to understand, like, we literally just met right now.
Yeah.
And so if you come in with an open mind and you saw my work, like, you have to have some level of trust. So come, like, have you guys noticed the best brows that you do? Or I think for me, the best brows that I do are when people come in and they're like, okay, so I'm just going to let you do whatever you want.
Yes.
I trust you.
Dude,
Just do whatever.
Those
Yeah.
are the fucking best. That's
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
best work.
Yeah.
The shape, the color, the everything.
Yeah, they just trust you, and it creates that vibe, that good vibe.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
can see
you
that.
want, because no.
Because you're not second guessing yourself throughout everything,
Yeah.
you know, like when you're showing the shape, like you're like, oh, I know she's gonna like it because I comfortably
Yes.
did this, you know, I created this.
Because like we created this together, and you
Yes.
trusted me.
Exactly.
And they still
Yeah.
look at them and they're like, "Oh yeah, I like these brows," and you're like, "Oh, good," because this is what I thought for you, and it's like, "Oh my god,"
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
even with
yeah.
the color and stuff.
I imagine
Yes.
if they come in too, like with a good attitude and talkative and all that, it probably helps a lot
Yeah,
too,
it
right?
does.
Yes.
I like when they come in like that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's
right.
just- it's a good time.
Feels like you're in there with a friend probably or something.
Exactly,
like
we're
that,
just
yeah.
talking. They're giving me the chisme, or like they feel
Right?
comfortable enough to open up to me.
I like when the
that's-
chisme is going on. I'm right
Yeah.
there.
You're right there with the glass,
I'm all like,
with the
oh,
glass
shit.
cup, trying to
I'm
listen
like, oh
and
shit, that
stuff.
shit's juicy right there.
What's the hardest thing, like in the very beginning, you guys think that you've encountered in terms of like the actual work?
To me, probably my timing, like mapping and stuff. Oh, I hated mapping at the beginning. I feel like
Yeah.
that would take me hours, and
Yeah.
I thought I was never gonna get better.
Yeah.
But now, luckily, I did. But at the beginning, that was horrible, and that's what I told Jatziry. Like, you'll get there. Just don't stress about it. But it's so hard not to stress about
Because you
it.
second guess yourself. No?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of our students that we've had, that's what they struggle with is the mapping.
The mapping.
That's probably the hardest thing for
Yeah.
everybody.
I feel like the only people that don't have that issue are makeup artists because they've been doing it all this time. And that's it. Everybody else struggles.
Yeah. it seems
Yeah.
like
Would
that's
you
the
say for
biggest
you
thing.
too, Jatziry?
I would say the mapping too. Like how you were saying, sometimes like I'm in the middle of like, you know, mapping a client and like I'm already like an hour in and I'm like, dude, like, are they ever going to be even? You know, like, am I ever actually going to start tattooing? Like it gets to a point like that, you know? And a lot of my clients at the time, they're like, oh, you're really like, you have to have patience. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm getting this from. Like in like my inner self is like trying to like, it's like vomiting. It's like screaming. It's like everything. Cause like, I'm like, when am I going to start tattooing? You know? But yeah, eventually, like she said, you know, like we actually, then I actually end up to like, once I get to the consent form, I'm like, I
I'm
can
there.
breathe.
I made it.
Yeah, because like
Yeah.
I made it, you know, like now it's just like the tattooing, which is the easier part. But yeah, the mapping is the most stressful, I think.
I can see with you guys too, being able to like bounce ideas and like ask each other questions. too,
Oh,
and
for
working as
sure.
a team. I'm sure that
Definitely.
helps.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I
From-
love that
from-
I have her in the room with me because like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, Vania, come over here.
Can I ask you something really quick?
Literally.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I'm like, Vania, can I ask you a question? And then she'll come and like she just, you know. So I think it's like really awesome
good.
that we share
Yeah.
a room. Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, I think like one of my favorite things since you guys came on. So I've been on my own, like as the kind of like the only person that I can talk to about tattooing is myself. Forever until you guys came on, because I talked to you about it.
I'm glad you guys came on because I don't have to hear it all now.
You were tired of it.
I don't do this shit, but I know too much about it now.
Well, yeah, and like I can talk to you about a color, but then I have to like backtrack to all these things and why.
Yeah.
So when I talk to you guys about color or color theory or the pigment or whatever, I don't have to be like, okay, well this pigment this, but then I don't have to backtrack. Like we have this understanding,
it's like kind of like trying to like tell somebody like, oh, the movie I'm watching, and then having to like explain everything that happened to get to the plot.
Yeah.
You don't have to go through all of that, right? Through the whole story.
Have you ever sat there and watched a movie with somebody and they're watching the same movie with you? And they're asking you questions about the movie when you're watching.
It's a rhetorical question.
At the same time.
It's a rhetorical question. A lot of the time, you can just say like, "Oh yeah, right. I don't know. That's crazy."
You're like, "What's he gonna do? I don't know what the fuck he's gonna do."
I don't know. What do you think? Anyway,
I don't know who you're trying to burn, but that's actually me.
See? I think that's all women. I think that's
you
all
do
women.
that too. You do that too.
I don't do that.
Yes,
I do that when I fall asleep and I don't finish watching it.
That's even worse.
No.
Yeah, that's even worse. Because then I have to rewatch the whole shit.
Yeah.
You should turn it off if I fall asleep.
No, I'm too into how we're gonna turn it off.
Like don't put something on if you're not gonna be able to watch it.
I'm getting fucking old. I can't watch a show. I'll fall asleep.
One
episode, it takes me like 4 times to watch one episode.
One episode.
If I sit there and watch TV, I'm out, huh?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Dang. And then I won't rewatch it, dude. Like I know.
You rewatch, I make you.
No, I read.
Yeah.
I read while you rewatch it.
And I sit there and fucking fuck
mess with my Kindle.
Oh, yeah, fun.
No, so I was saying like one of my favorite things is like being able to talk to you guys. And I feel like even myself have grown as an artist because I can talk things through. You know what I'm saying? What do you feel like that you've learned like in the past for you, Vanya, like in the past, whatever time that you've been there?
Year.
Well, you've been there
Over a year now.
It was a year last month.
You're starting to get your touch-ups now.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Like what's one thing? Well, actually, what's one thing that you've learned now from like seeing your touch-ups at a year that you would change?
Oh, my style is completely different.
It is, right? It's crazy
so
in a year.
Different, yeah. Like sometimes I think I'm like, dang, I wish I had this client where I'm at now. Like I wish I would have seen her now because I would have given her some bomb brows. Not that they were bad, but like my skill is different.
But you're better now.
Yeah, I wish that's the main thing. I feel like some clients that I do see, I'm like, dang.
But
I wish you would have done.
Yeah,
but now you get to do the touch up on them, right?
Yeah, and it's cool, and I could make changes that I need to do. So yeah, I would definitely say like I'm not where I was, obviously, in the beginning. But yeah, that's pretty much like my thing. Where I'm like, sometimes I regret, which I shouldn't, but like sometimes I'll regret like, oh, I wish I would have seen you later on, like.
Yeah.
So different now.
Yeah. I feel like when somebody tells me like I've been following you for 3 years or 4 years and I finally decided to do it, I'm like, oh God, thank God. I'm like, okay, bueno. I'm glad you waited.
Yeah.
I mean, at that time, like you should have came in, but now I'm like, oh my God,
I'm better now.
I'm better now. I feel like you both have progressed like really, really quickly. Yeah. But I think in the beginning when you, so just FYI, FYI, guys.
Now we're gonna get a shadow ban.
Oh, that's right.
YouTube.
Yeah, there's like few words you can't say. That's one of them apparently. Scratch it off, producer Matt. So one of the things that I've noticed is that I forgot my train of thought.
I don't know what were
you
saying?
said. By FYI, guys, you're gonna say something.
My bad. I threw you off.
Yeah.
That's my job. That's what I do.
It really
I keep you on your toes.
It really is.
What were you saying?
What were you saying, Vanya?
The skill's not the same. We're not.
Oh no! So I was gonna say, like I've been through a lot of pigments and stuff, you know, and a lot of the times when I was switching pigment, I didn't know what I was doing. You know, like my technique was still good and the color still came back okay, but don't you hate when the client comes back and you're like, oh man, it's a missed opportunity. I could have used this. I could have used that.
Yes.
And it's a technical thing. I don't think they see the difference.
Yeah.
But we see it, you know, like we can see the undertones in the skin and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like, what do you do, you know?
Pues ya que.
Pues ya.
Pues ya que, you know, they already have what they have.
Yeah, okay.
No, yeah.
What's a favorite moment that you guys had so far with a client?
Mine was actually recently.
Aww.
She was so nervous, like super nervous, anxious. And she told me, she's like, I'm a very anxious person. I'm so nervous. You don't know how nervous I am. And I could feel it and sense it. And then her insecurity was her eyebrows. And the way she would draw them on and stuff, they never came out the same. Usual. That's why everybody wants to get them tattooed. And then I gave her the shape and I was like, this goes with your features. She really liked it. I tattooed it. And then she was going to see it. And when she saw it, she started crying.
Aww.
Like that melted my heart. I was like, that was the best feeling ever because I knew like that was her insecurity. She struggled with that. And I made her feel good.
Like you were able to help her.
Yes. It was because of me that, you know, she was satisfied. And that made me so happy. That was my favorite moment. I had never had anybody cry. And I almost cried with her. Like,
Oh,
I'm a crybaby.
I can totally,
I would have been
I
like,
can totally see
Yes.
you crying.
Vanya was
Yeah.
holding space.
She was.
She was holding space.
holding
That's our new
space.
shit right there.
She was holding
Thanks to
space.
Miro.
Yeah.
yeah.
What about you, Jatziry? What's been your favorite
I
thing
don't-
so far?
I don't think I've had like one specific one like that. I don't think I could top that one
I
yet.
think
but
you're still very tense.
I'm still very tense,
Yeah.
but I think for me, like, kind of like finishing the service and like not having any like type of confrontation that they don't like them immediately. You know?
okay, yeah.
I think that alone is like kind of like fulfilling for me right now. You know, like finishing the service and then giving them brows because a lot of them come and like one, they don't know how to draw them in, or you know, they already don't have a lot of hair. So I think that is one of the things that's like already fulfilling for me. So those are my happy moments, like just letting them go with like brows at least on their face.
And
You know
I think,
what I mean?
I think as a beginning artist, like you look at your work right when you're done and you're like, oh my God, I did so good. And then you want them to have that same energy,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah.
But a lot of people are just not like that.
Yeah.
So a lot of the times, like they'll look at them and they're like, oh, they look good, thanks.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Oh, they'll
and
go-
I'm like,
like,
give
oh,
me
they'll go
more.
like,
Okay, you know? And
Yes.
it's like, fuck, man, can you just tell me how awesome they are?
Yes.
Can you be like, oh, I love them?
And like
or
start crying,
Yeah.
like bring you balloons and shit, you know? But I think like
Yeah.
that's one of the things as a new artist, like having to be like, okay, well, this is just this person,
Yeah.
you know, like it doesn't speak to me as an artist. Like this person just doesn't have like that personality where they get all crazy or they're gonna cry and shit, you know?
Yeah.
But then they'll refer somebody, you're like, really? Like, oh shit, she referred
Yes.
me.
Oh my
like
gosh,
she was
yes.
such like she was so quiet when she came in.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was gonna ever hear from them again.
I had that actually.
We
Right?
Get, we get tons of referrals. Tons of them. Most of the clients, not all of them, but a lot of them are referrals
Yeah.
Yeah.
for everybody. You
And
know
that's
what I
the
mean?
best feeling.
Right?
As a matter of fact,
Yeah.
one of my client just recently, she was referred through the last touch up you had.
Oh yeah.
She said they worked together and something like that. And
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was like, no way.
That's
I was
fucking
like,
cool,
That is
right?
fucking cool. Yeah. Like the way like just kind of word of mouth works. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I think that's freaking cool that like now me joining your team, you know, as a junior artist, now I'm getting those clients too. You know, so I think it's fucking badass.
Yeah, and I think that speaks to how we work together, like as a team.
Yeah.
You know, not saying like we're the best, but we are the best. We're
We
the
are
best
the
team
best.
in San Antonio.
we are.
Best team in the nation. What are you talking about?
what?
Best team in the nation.
Best team
We
in the
are.
nation. Team Vanidosa.
That's right.
But we all work, I think, really well as a team. And I don't feel like, and this is why I think like, you know, when I brought it up to you, like, Vanya. So Vanya was, I think that's what I was going to say.
What's up?
So Vanya was, that's what I was going to say. Guys, so you don't know this, but remember? Like 10 minutes ago?
I don't remember.
Yeah, you're like,
But
FYI.
I forgot. That's what I was going to say. So Vanya and Jatziry were both students of mine.
Oh, yeah.
And I usually in my classes, so I have classes every 6 weeks and I have anywhere between, 4 to 8 students. And so I see a lot of people.
Shameless plug right there.
Same with just plug it. If you want to go to my next class. When is it? May
May 25th.
May
26th.
25th and 26th at Vanidosa Beauty Studios, 1933 Fredericksburg.
Sweet 113.
Sweet 113. And so a lot of the times, like I see potential in people. You know what I mean? And I have, like I said, every 6 weeks, I see different people and different artists, and I see a lot of women, and there's a lot of potential. But it's like you can't just be an artistic person. You know what I mean? Like you also have to have a certain commitment to excellence.
Yeah.
You also have to be on time.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
and I've told you guys, like, I watch everything. You do. Like I'm watching to see what time as they come in, students or whatever. And one of the things I'll tell you, like if somebody is not on time for class,
That says a precedence. Right
it says
there.
a precedence. Yeah. I'm not talking shit, Yasari, because you were late a couple times.
I know. I was waiting for it. I was like, when is she going to
Guys,
write me?
she's talking about me.
It was traffic.
I must redeem myself. I'm like 20 to
FYI.
15 minutes early now.
Every time. No, but like I'm watching the students, so automatically I see like, potential.
Yeah.
But they're also telling me about their background life and like, my husband doesn't want me to do this or this, and I'm like,
That's got to be hard when
Yeah.
you don't have somebody supporting
It
you.
is,
somebody
it
that's
is,
holding
and
back.
you know what? It sucks, but honestly, like a lot of the times, those people won't push themselves past somebody else's opinion of themselves.
Yeah, for sure.
So as I'm watching, when I first saw Vanya was like really quiet, and like I think you had like this inner confidence somehow, Like, no, but like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, you were certain in who you are.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, actually, that's what recently I've been like dissecting you a little bit. The more I get,
picking it
That's
up.
who's watching everything too, Vanya.
well, the more like I'm like the more I see you, the more I get to know who you really are, and I think that's exactly what you're saying is exactly what I've been thinking. I suck at putting shit together and putting it into words. Yeah, like you're like so shy and so like
to myself.
Not with the camera though. You can't get a bad shot of Vanya on the camera.
That's different. That's a separate jam.
I know that's something. That's a
separate
whole other topic. But like I noticed that like you're like super confident in who you are. Like a lot of the times like people can confuse like being weak and like or not weak but being like shy with weakness. And you're shy but not weak at all. Like you know what you want and you're like a really assertive person.
Right?
Yeah. And I noticed that when you help me and stuff like that, like I notice. Because like you're just not doubtful, you know what I mean? Like you trust yourself and like you know what you're doing.
Are we all gonna cry right now?
So sweet.
I know, right? No, like
sometimes
dead ass.
I don't feel that way about myself.
Really?
I'm so shy, and I hate being shy. Is one of my biggest insecurities.
Yeah.
I hate that because some people point it out. I'm like, I can't help it. That's who I am. Like, what do you want me to do?
Right? Yeah.
But that's awesome. Like how you described me. Like
sometimes
I don't.
That's
which
how it is, though,
fucking
right?
crazy because like you really rarely ever get that combo. You know what I mean? Like a shy person being so like assertive and like sure of herself. It's fucking cool. And like it makes me think like I could be like that too. Because I'm also like a person that like self doubts a lot. So I think it's fucking cool.
I think when Vanya first started, she was a little apprehensive too. I remember. We've even talked about that. Like Vanya's a certified artist. Like you come in with the artist energy.
That's what you
now,
keep saying.
Yeah.
With like, I'm just here to create my art.
Yeah.
But
Don't fuck with me, bitches.
cool.
I'm here to do my art.
I don't know if I would say that, but yeah. But you know what I mean? So that's something that I noticed in Vanya when she came in, like, and I think it comes from, like we've said, like growing up good. With like a good family.
With love.
With love. Like that with love that helps. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have like this inner confidence this is who you are and that's it. And of course, like anytime you take up something new, of course you're gonna be not apprehensive.
Nervous.
Yeah. So
Of
course I noticed and maybe that diluted your confidence a little bit. But I definitely saw it growing quickly.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we still, as an artist, you're always going to have those things where you're like, fuck, I could have done this. I could have done that.
Yeah. Oh, till this day.
I think being part of a team probably helps a lot too.
It
Because
did,
if you're on your
sure.
own, you don't have nobody to like to bounce ideas off
You
of,
don't.
nobody to go off of,
And
right?
I feel like that helped me out a lot in the beginning, having Claudia there to give me feedback. Like I would ask her, tell me like what I did wrong so I could fix it. Because I'm that type of person, like I want to fix what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah.
And it helped me a lot that I had you like. I mean, I have the queen of brows. Like,
It's
like a
I'm
continued
so
education,
lucky.
right?
I feel
Little
like I'm very lucky to have had you.
Are we
through the
crying?
journey.
Lucky?
No,
yeah,
because I
like-
have you and then I have you, so like
Yeah.
You're
luckier?
double lucky. But it's not luck. Like I literally was watching, and I've been here for 3 years, and I think you came out a year ago, so it was like 2 years of watching people.
Well, we also see the students too, because we offer unlimited shadowing and all that. And so many people don't take advantage of that when they have it. And like Jatziry continued, like, hey, can I shadow? Can I shadow?
Yeah.
And you watch me and like so. Jatziry has a really so Vanya. You were a teacher.
Yes.
Before. This goes to show you like the beauty industry is like so open. Here I am, like a college dropout, a fucking felon. Vanya was
my
a teacher
bachelor's degree.
with her bachelor's over here doing brows and not bachelor's in brows. And Jatziry was working at a bank.
Yeah.
So we all had like, I was gonna say a different job, but we did. We all had like this past life, and like it's so cool that we get to do this. Like it was in us,
Well, I remember Jatziry took the class, and then she's like, "I'm done working," and you just quit and just jumped in.
So you took the class
back in August.
Yeah. And then you quit in
I gave myself to the end of the year to like call it
But I
quits.
think the last month you were not even working.
But within that
My
time, you
last
were coming
month,
in and shadowing.
Yeah,
and,
my last month I had so much accumulated sick time and stuff that I had to use or I would lose it. And so then that's when I started. I was like, okay. And see, that kind of, goes to show, like, had I been a different person, I would have just used my time to, like, enjoy being off, you know, before I got into it. But no, I was like, now was the time to get started. You know what I mean? And while I was still working, I would try and come. But I worked Saturdays, and I know that was, like, your busiest day at the studio. So I wish I would have like shadowed more. A lot of the times I would message, be like, hey, when does Claudia have, clients?
When does she have a client at 7 p.m.?
Yeah, literally, yeah. And that's what I thought. I don't know. When I first like took the class, I was like, oh, like on my time off, because I had a pretty good schedule. I was like 8 to 4, so I still had enough time. But for some reason or another, it just
didn't work.
Yeah, like our schedules were just so completely off. And my days off were Tuesdays, which you're off on Tuesdays too. So I was like, oh, Tuesdays I could come in all day. But no, that didn't happen. And so, yeah, I just kind of like, I don't know, gave myself until the end of the year to like fully like quit my job, you know, and then like
it's a big step, you know.
Yeah. Oh, it was a big
decision.
That is. It's do you regret it at all, having that comfort and that security?
No, never. No, I will never regret it.
That's awesome.
Not even like at my low. I mean, I don't. Thankfully, I never got at any like lowest.
When you were doing crack, like pedaling for pennies.
No, like thankfully, I was pretty stable enough to like, before I took this jump, like I knew that it was going to happen. And even then, like we didn't struggle, so I would never. And then like more than anything, like not financially, I think mentally, like it helped me. That's the way it paid me.
Yeah.
So I was so stressed. I was just like going through it the whole time, and like it just wasn't it for me, and here.
You were working at the bank?
Yes, working at the bank. Yeah, for sure. And so here it's allowed me to just be who I really am.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And I think that's the one thing. And like I've tried to just dress different, and I try to do this and that, and like ultimately like you get to be whoever you want to be.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And as long as you're creating good work and like you treat your clients with respect and stuff, I think you can be whoever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that you had a lot going, and what I've noticed in successful artists is like Vannia has George, and he's really supportive, and like, and then you have Albert, and he's like super supportive, dude.
He was like, since like I would say honestly 3 years ago, maybe he was already like, just quit, like find something, like let's find you something. You know how I do the bottles? He was like, just do this full time, and I was like, realistically, like, can I really make this, a living out of this? And then I had taken a break from work because my DACA had expired, so I needed to wait for it to come in. And so I had like a month or two off. So I was doing good for those 2 months, but then, I mean, it wasn't sustainable. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so then I went back to work, went back to that like routine of being like a corporate employee. And then when I told him about the brows, I was like, I'm thinking about taking the course, blah, blah, blah. He was like, do it. Like, do it. He never once told me, like, think about how are we going to pay bills or how are we going to do this,
He was just like, do it.
No, he was always,
he was pushing you for it, right?
Yeah. Like in a way, he was almost like pushing me, and I'd be the one that'd be like, no, like, put the brakes on, like, I can't do this because of whatever. And then he's always been like, if I tell him right now, like, hey, I'm thinking of doing this, he'll be like, do it. So he's never one to hold back.
Like those interviews you were doing, the brows on the streets or something?
Yeah.
He pushed you to do that stuff, right?
He pushed me. Yeah, until this day, he's like, we need to do another one. And I'm
Dude,
like,
you should do them. I think they were so cool.
Dude, yeah.
Albert had you frolicking in the fields and doing all that stuff.
Yeah. And you know how that happened? I was already like, because we had seen so many people. There wasn't much people at the Pro. Whoever knows the Pro knows that it's popping on the weekends. But this wasn't a weekend. It was like, I think, a Tuesday or something like that. So there was only like a few people here and there. And I was scouting to see who I could approach. Mind you, I was like really nervous, and then too, like not seeing the right people, or like not seeing the right fit for it. Yeah. I was already like, we were getting frustrated. I was getting really frustrated because he was like, just go, just do it. And I was like, what am I going to say? Like, how am I going to approach? Like, hey, can I talk to you? Like, I don't know. It just wasn't coming natural to me. And so then we were already like on our way to walk to the car. And I see 2 girls come, and it looked like it was mom and daughter, right? And then
they're like, no, we're friends. We're the same age.
Anyway. No, the mom looked really good. She did. That's why I was like, I don't know if it was mom and daughter, but you could tell that they were. And we had made eye contact really briefly, and then I looked away because I was like, oh shit, like they saw me.
So like you're about to ask him on a date or something.
Yes, literally, that's how it felt. And then I was like, oh my god, like no, I was just telling him like, let's just go, like I can't do this. And then as we got closer to them, that's when I was like, I don't know, something in me just like did it.
You're like, I'm gonna do it.
I didn't think about it. I just did it, and then it turned out really great. And then he had the video edited. He sent it to me. I had it for like about a month. And then because I didn't want to post it, I was like,
you had it
stupid.
for a month?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I had it for a month, like not posting it and stuff like that. And it was just this random day. I didn't have anything to post. And I was like, I'm just going to post it. And I was like, I don't care. Like, who's going to see this? Like, my 3 followers that I have, you know what I mean?
It got a lot of views. How much did it get?
It's still getting, getting traction
cool.
right now.
Cool.
I know, yeah. And immediately when I posted it, I had a volleyball game that day. And so I didn't see my phone immediately after I posted it. Literally posted it on my way to the game and then put my phone away because by the time I got there, it was already game time. And then when I finished the game, that's when I saw like all of
You're like,
all the notifications.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit. I was like, I told Albert, I was like, my video's doing really good. He's like, I told you. Yeah. He's like, I told you. And then I was like, oh shit. Like, had I posted, I don't know. Like everything just kind of,
well, it'll fall into place. And then just a background, guys. Albert is a videographer, and
this a YouTuber
this
too,
is
right?
like a YouTuber with big following. So this is literally like his job.
Yeah.
So the fact that he like did that for you and he pulled away from other jobs and stuff.
Yeah.
And so Roundy and I always talk about is like when we're friending somebody or like a person or whatever, like we always kind of look to see what the
value
is like.
Well,
Spouse is like, dude.
Well, you don't come if you have a partner, you don't come as just you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have back support, and everybody has to vibe.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, I feel like you definitely have to have somebody in your corner
Yeah.
to, continue to push, because then, right, like that's how you'll know you'll get your full potential in doing whatever you're doing. Because if not, then like you're always going to have that person holding you back.
Yeah. And I think like one of the things that I've noticed is, like I told you guys, like I would see girls in my classes and they had potential, but they're getting calls from their husbands and like, where are you? What time are you going to be done? One time I had I was teaching a class and the husband kept coming in and out. And I was like, who the fuck?
Yeah,
Remember?
That was weird.
I was like, who the fuck keeps coming in and out? And then she finally had to stop class. She's like, oh, it's my husband. And like he was waiting outside for her and like how fucking long. And I was like, dude, that's like a fucking lot. You're never gonna get anywhere.
The whole day?
Like the whole fucking day. Remember?
Yeah, I remember.
And so I think she left earlier. So it turned into a thing.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, well, I'm not watching you. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there was like, even if she had potential, like you always have to have that person. If whoever that it might be, like they have to have your back, or it's just not going to work.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
not going to work.
Yeah.
And what did George say when you started, Vanya?
He was super supportive. Like even
since the very beginning.
Yeah, even when I like quit teaching, he was like, just do it. Like,
Oh no way.
Well, before you came with us, Vanya, you were working at another place, weren't you? Already as an esthetician?
At a hair salon as an esthetician, yeah. But it was a totally different vibe over there because it was hair.
Yeah.
Compared to us, it's like specifically
this is
brows.
our specialty.
Yeah, and I knew like leaving the hair salon, like I knew I wanted to take that step up. Like I wanted to do more for myself. And powder brows was the next thing to me because I didn't want to be just an esthetician. So that's when I was like, no, I'm going to take her class, especially because I had already briefly like met you through Jazzy. So
at Jazziberry.
Yes, she's the best.
She is the best. She makes really good treats.
Yes.
Man, so many people come in our orbit from Jazz and them.
Yeah. She knows a lot of people.
Yeah, it's
like,
crazy.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that she's from Oxnard too, and we kind of just randomly met them out here.
Yeah. So Jazziberry with really good treats. We were at a party, right? For the baby's like birthday or something.
Yeah, something for her.
And then you and George were there. And then that's how we met briefly. We talked a little bit. And she was an esthetician at that point. And we had only been here a year, I think.
I don't know.
At that point. And then another year went by, and then you took the class.
That's when I took the class.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to do this. Like, this is my sign. I'm just
and I
go
was
for
like,
it.
oh, shit, Vanya from like the year ago when I met. Yeah, because we had seen each other a couple of times.
Yeah.
Huh?
What made you take our class?
Well, just seeing Claudia's work and like kind of like meeting her already in a way. Like I knew her vibe and stuff, and I got along with her like good when I would talk to her. So I was like, no, I'm in good hands. Like I know like it's gonna be good. And I remember even my sister-in-law, way before I met you, she had sent me your class.
Oh, no,
she was like, no, my other sister-in-law. She had sent me your class, and she was like, she's from California, but she also teaches here. I don't know what the deal was, but like, I think you were like back and forth, right? Yeah. And she had sent it to me, and I was like, oh, okay, like I saved it. And then when it came down to it, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. And that's when I just signed up, and
That's cool. When did you? Because I know after you left teaching, you went to right into esthetician school, right?
Literally.
And then after that, you went to the salon, and after that, you came with us.
Yeah.
What was like the breaking point at the school, or did you was it like a constant like I don't want to do this? I
It
don't
was a
want
little
to do this.
badass kids, little badass
No,
kids.
honestly, it wasn't even the kids.
It was the parents.
It was the adults.
I don't know
I
how you do
always
it.
hear the parents. I always hear the parents.
You have to deal with the parents, your coworkers, and then the kids. But the kids were not
I
bad.
would
It
have been
was
drop kicking kids.
No, it was
Kids flying all over the
thank
place.
God I had good kids. It was third grade, so they were fine. But it was just like the work that came with it, the stress. I literally felt like a slave towards the end because they knew I was leaving, and they would make me do a lot of stuff.
Oh,
like,
no way
I
like
remember
that.
turning in that last assignment that they wanted me to do, and I was like, fuck this
I'm done.
place. I'm never going to be back.
What school
You're
was
like
this?
blocked.
Yes.
So what school was this?
It's actually not far from here, so.
Really?
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, you're just trying to stir up shit.
What was the principal's name?
Oh, that principal. Oh my
Oh,
god.
shit.
All right, let's hear.
I got stories for days.
Okay.
No,
Let's tag
I'm
that
not.
principal below.
I'm not. No, it was just
principal
crazy.
watching this.
Yeah. But no, yeah, it was just stress after stress, crying every day. Like,
No
it
way.
was just not. I knew I did not want to be there forever. So I was like, nah, right now I can't. I don't have kids. I have the support of my family.
Same.
Like, I remember I told my mom, I was like, I'm quitting. And she was like, are you sure? Like, do you know what you're going to do? Like, moms. Like, she
was
just wanted to
worried.
make sure.
Sure.
And then I was like, yeah, like, I just don't want to do this anymore. Like, I'm telling you, like, this is not for me. And she was like, well, as long as you have a plan, we'll support you
You're
no
like,
matter
I
what.
don't, but I feel
Yeah, no,
See,
and
that's what coming from a good family gets you.
yeah, right? Support.
Yes, and I feel like that helped me a lot, honestly, having the support of my parents and George, because if not, I would have just been doubting myself and I probably wouldn't have gone to school.
Yeah.
And they were like, we'll help you pay for it. Like, they helped me
nice.
out
That's cool.
so much.
Aw.
So I think that's what really like boosted me, because I knew I wanted to do something in the beauty industry. And when I originally signed up for school, I signed up for lashes only.
Oh,
And then once I was there, I was like, ugh, no, like
No,
too much patience. That's too much patience. And I was like, no, I want to do everything. So I switched over to the esthetician program. And then, I finished school. It was honestly a breeze. Like, I went full time. I would put in my 40 hours
this
a
was
week.
during the Rona, no? Or right after?
Kind of like towards the end of the
Okay,
Rona.
okay.
Yeah. So it was like online and like in person. I was always the only one there, honestly.
Nice.
Everybody else would do it in like on the computer. It was always me and another girl. So it was like,
You too.
Yeah.
Ah, that's cool. And I feel like George is so like open, como que, yeah, that's cool. Like, oh, go for it, no? Like,
yes, that's just who he is. We're
Yeah.
literally complete opposites, but it works out for us.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
And y'all
balance
have
each
met
other.
him. Like,
Yeah.
You're just
I
fucking
think everybody
funny,
loves
dude.
George.
everybody loves
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
Yeah.
You can't not like the guy. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah.
And I always tell everybody, like, this is my life. Like, this is life with George. Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
fun.
It's fucking funny, man.
Yes.
Like
I
when
wish
we
every
went-
client had Georgia's vibe. Think about it. If they all came in like that,
like,
right?
all ready to
yeah.
fuck shit
For
up.
real.
Yeah. It would
They'd be like,
fun.
just fucking do it. I'd be
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
okay, bet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That. Yeah.
And I feel like, well, going back to what I was saying, like, that is what I think I saw in Vanya, like, your confidence, and again, it's probably coming from good family.
Mm-hmm.
Which we
Shout out to your mom.
Señora,
Don't talk about my
Your wife?
Don't talk about my wife like that. We're gonna run away together.
Oh
Ronnie.
my gosh.
Just call me Apa.
Oh my God, about Roundy.
Oh man, her cakes. She won me over with her cakes, man.
Roundy like sweets.
I'm a fat kid, and she makes some bomb ass cakes.
Yeah, she really does.
She don't know
Yeah,
it
she
yet,
do.
but I'm in love with her.
Oh my God, Round, stop.
Mom,
Como platónico.
And I felt with Jatziry, like, I really like that drive that you had, you know, because you kept coming in.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things, I've told you this, like, Jatziry just says what's on her mind. And sometimes I was like, ay, está qué? You know, I was like, oh my God.
I come from a good place, I promise.
I know, you do. But you know, the fact that you're just, like, you just say
There's no
things.
deception right there.
There's no deception,
no
right?
deception.
And if there is, I usually feel it out, and I didn't feel that with you. So, like, you literally say, you know, and I would be
What
like,
you're thinking, you say.
and I would be like, ¿esta qué? Like, oh my God.
Kind
you
of
know?
like out of pocket.
No, not
Just
even. Like, you just
just
it's 'cause
say it.
You just say it,
Yeah.
right? And for me, I was like, but then you know, I know that I can trust that,
yes.
and I know that I can trust it.
You know what's so funny? That like I guess I could kind of sense that, you know, that like I would leave the studio and be like, ay, no sé, like I didn't feel.
Like lo que dije. You would think about it or what? Like,
I guess we kind of both felt the vibes. You know what I mean? Like the vibes I would leave, and then the vibes I would get back. I would
Because
leave.
I would say shit, and you're like, "Are you being? What did you say that one time? Are you being sarcastic?" And I was like, "Well, duh!" Like,
Oh, I have no sense of like when you're being
don't
sarc-
pick up on
I'm
that?
very gullible.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
a super gullible person. All my life have been. yeah, dude. Honestly, like you could tell me the world's ending right now, and I'd be like, for real.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like really.
but
Don't let George with her, because George will get her.
oh my God.
Oh my God.
George,
Yeah.
Oh
no,
my
like,
God, like-
he'd bully me to the end of the day.
You just fucking remember that time at the fucking I was fucking dying. The time at the comedy club I was like, oh no, he's my friend Theo.
Oh my God, yes. And he says it in a way where like you just believe it.
Like he says it like it's truth.
Well, as a matter of fact, when I first met George, he told me he was del piso, that he does floor. Remember I told you? And you were like, no, he works at a tire shop.
And you're like, I could have sworn he said tile.
Yeah.
And nothing that guy says, you can't believe him.
I know, yeah. That's what I said. I was like, I'm not going to believe anything he comes out of his mouth anymore. Only when he does your vows.
After that, I remember like when we were at the comedy club after he said that, and we found out like he was just fucking lying.
I really thought it was a
and
steal,
now I just look at Vanya and Vanya's like, I don't believe him.
No, and sometimes I don't even know. I'm like, are you being for real? Like, tell me right now. Like, is it for real? And then
he still get you?
Yeah, sometimes. But I pick up more on it now. Like, of course.
Fucking everybody's listening is gonna be wondering who George is. They're gonna be fucking investigating.
George is like so underrated.
I know.
He fucking is, dude. He's fucking hilarious.
Oh my God.
Like the last time we went to go to have dinner, and I thought it was so fucking funny. We went to dinner. And then they gave him a notebook. Like, that was so random.
That was.
And they're like, oh, write whatever. And I don't even know what they expect to write.
Yeah.
But wrote in quotation marks, he wrote no. And then next to it, he wrote Rosa Parks.
That's so random.
Dude, like, it's okay. Like,
But it's just funny.
Yeah.
But it's so random.
I'm like, how do you come up with these things? And he's like, I don't know. I just come
he
up
just
with
says.
it. Yeah.
But see, you know what that reminds me of a lot of Jatziry? Because Jatziry just says things. Like, but you say what you think. I'm not even saying like you're saying it to be whatever.
Yeah.
But you just say things and I can trust that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, de primero, but I was telling Round, like, sometimes I'm like, ay, Jatziry. But then it's like, I can trust what you say because you don't say it with deception.
Yeah.
And you just say what you
honest.
think. Mm-hmm. And I don't like having fucking fake people around me or people that always feel like they have to kiss your ass.
You
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or people that are always like, deja decir, let me say this so that she feels a certain way.
Yeah.
What you want to hear, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So with you, like, I feel like we can have like an honest conversation about anything, and like we're both saying what we really think.
Like, I'm giving you my point of view, right?
Yeah.
And if that's not what is your point of view, at least I give you mine, right?
Yeah.
Straight up.
And
Like,
that's what it is.
I'm not trying to like be liked, like if you're gonna like me, you're gonna like me for who I am.
Yeah.
And I guess that's how I am.
You are. Yeah. And we both know it. Like, you're just straight up. Like, you just talk.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, and see, I see that.
That's cool.
That's why I see the. It's confidence, but it's different type of confidence for both of you. Like,
Yeah,
I
for
feel like
sure.
when people see me, like, they think you can tell,
Oh, yeah.
But with Vanya, like, I feel like it's a very confidence in who you are. Mm-hmm. And with Jatziry, I feel like your confidence is in how do I say
in who I am, but in a
who
different
you are,
way.
but in
than
a different
her.
way.
Yeah.
Like, you are confident in yourself so that you don't have to be deceitful.
Yeah.
You can just be.
Yes. Yeah.
And being in that state is very hard for people.
You know why? Because
know?
I generally think that, like, I never come from a bad place. Like, I would never mean to, like, hurt or harm people.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's why, like, not to toot my own horn, but
O
I think que
sea-
tengo un corazón doble.
You
Right.
do.
I really do. And I
do.
feel like a lot of people could take advantage of that.
Mm-hmm.
So it can be, like, good and bad. But I think that's what you're trying to say, like,
Yeah.
I'm confident in that manner because I know for a fact that, like, I'm never trying to, like, cause drama. I'm not trying to, like,
Or be a meanie.
be a bit
Yeah.
exactly
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like, no, that's never gonna be mean. So I think you just, like, kind of, like, it's funny, right? Like, when we have conversations, we're always, like, kind of, like, breaking shit down and, like, we're, like, getting to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
Without even,
you,
like,
you have like a very curious mind at the same time.
You do.
oh yeah,
You ask
Right.
a lot of
oh
questions.
yeah, I do ask
You
a
need
lot of
to change-
questions.
You need
Yeah,
to change from vicious brows to noble brows.
literally, right?
It's more fitting.
I probably go do it right
But
now.
I always do feel like you, both of you come from like a good place.
Yeah.
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 Like with Vanya, like I'll tell her like, because sometimes I can kind of come off mean.
What? You?
I know.
Nah, never.
Guys, I know.
No.
Or I can let my spiciness get ahead of me, So like,
Yeah.
I always have to have that double check. So I'll ask Vanya, is this mean? I said this, and Vanya will tell me like straight out. And so I trust your judgment.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And with you, I feel like I get like what you really, really think.
The rawness too.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly.
So I think that's why we fit, guys.
I think that's
We
fucking
do.
badass.
That's why we're the
right?
best team
No, it's a
ever.
good team. It's gonna be fun in
Yeah.
California too. Watch,
It
we're
is.
taking a California trip here soon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And actually, Vanya's gonna be working in California.
I'm so excited.
We're gonna go see clients out there.
It's
and
gonna
then,
be cool.
We're doing a whole team trip. We're gonna
Yeah.
drive up the coast. It's gonna be badass.
It's gonna be cool.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
We're gonna drive up the coast for a few days.
All of us, all the hubbies, everybody.
Yeah.
Just a team trip.
Team
Vibes.
trip.
Yeah.
I think
It's a
it's fucking
write-off.
cool.
Yeah. To write out Cassie.
For the IRS.
Cassie, it's a write-off. For real. What do you guys like? What's your favorite thing about working with like other women? Because I know it's hard.
It's
and I don't mean just
with
us.
Yeah.
Not between us, but like always constantly being around women.
It's fucking horrible.
But
Yeah.
well, babe, we know what you think. You like it.
Nah, it's not that bad. It's actually...
I can tell when you're over it because you just like your room
I'll
door
just
closes
disappear in
and
my
you
fucking
disappear.
office and
You
close the
do.
door. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. And all you
when
hear is
that happens
TikTokies.
and I have to go like...
We have to go knock on the door.
I know, I'm like, fuck, the door's closed.
Like,
No,
am I
sometimes-
interrupting?
Sometimes I
know.
just close it because I'm editing and stuff. And
You don't
it's-
wanna
it's
hear no
kinda loud,
background
you know
noise?
what I mean?
Yeah.
But sometimes I do
Sure,
close
Brad,
it
we'll go
because
with that.
I have my full achievement for the day, so I'm just like,
You're like,
enough.
okay, I've had 2 chismes for today. I'm
I'm
done.
It wasn't that juicy. It's not worth listening to anymore.
It's not that good.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
What was it?
Like your favorite thing about working around a bunch of women?
Like our clients? and stuff?
yeah.
Um,
When I said, what's the worst thing? You're like,
Let me tell you.
Let me tell you.
She had no hesitation there.
you can go first.
I would say like working with women, coming from, I was a waitress way before this. I was a waitress, so like I worked with women. It was siempre la envidia, the jealousy, and all of that. And here in our space, we don't have that.
Yeah.
Al contrario, like we're always
safe
rooting
space.
each other. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Like fucking proud of each other, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I feel it, like vice versa. So I think that alone is like my favorite thing because it's fucking hard to get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially here in
with
San
other
Antonio.
girls. Girls here are mean.
Yes,
Like,
They
like
are
us.
mean.
they are.
They
They're
are
like,
mean.
for no
and it's
reason.
not like that they're mean. It's just that they cannot see you be better than them because they immediately want something to like, oh, I can do that, or like
Yeah.
bring you down. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's like for what? Like I feel like there's
We don't
none
do
of that
There's
vibe
no
here.
competition or anything. Like I
Exactly.
feel like we're all one.
Yes.
And I love that.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
that boosts my confidence, honestly. Like
Yeah.
knowing that we're all the same and we're all hyping each other up.
Dude, yeah, I
Yeah.
go
The
home
best
to
feeling,
Outward
Right?
and
Oh my
like,
God, are we crying
It's the
again?
A lot of crying.
yeah.
Roundy's like,
Roundy.
Roundy's like, this is what it's like.
Too much estrogen.
Studio.
Too much estrogen. No, you
Yeah.
know what I think for women, from a man's perspective?
Yeah.
I think women are very demanding
Yeah.
and expect the world to bend to their whims.
Of course, you would say that. Are you
That's
talking
what I
about
think.
me or women?
A little bit of you, but women
I
too.
can
No,
see
but
I'm
women
like that too. I'm like
but
that too.
I think women go in like to restaurants and stuff and like, this is how I want it, this is the way I want it, and expect it like that, you know? I don't think it's a bad thing, but I think that's one of the things women bring to the table.
The what? The excellence?
Just
Just
demanding.
because we
being
know what we
demanding.
want.
Yeah.
No, I know what you mean. It can get like pretty demanding, and also like the way you approach it, right?
There's
I
ways.
think there's ways. And then as far as clients, honestly, it's like I told you before, as long as I don't have no mean ones, I'm okay.
I know,
I'll
but-
cry.
You're going to get some
Literally.
mean ones.
Yeah,
I know.
I think I've dealt with everybody, and I've dealt
You
with so
have.
much shit. Like I've almost gotten in fights at the studio. Like I cussed people
Yeah.
out. You know, like me and Misty, we were gonna get in a fight with a couple clients. Like
That's wild.
Oh yeah, it was it was a lot of fun.
I think the advantage though is, Vanya, you don't deal with the clients like messaging and stuff like that, or booking.
glad.
So you kind of have a shield between that. But Yatziry's helping us with the messaging and
messages.
stuff. So
She
she gets
deals
to
with all
she gets to
that.
see some of that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And people can be straight out mean.
but
Especially
kind of
through-
like
especially through messaging.
the ones that only like talk shit through
Through the
texting.
phone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but then
I
they
know.
show up and then it's like,
Oh,
a
you know
different
what?
story.
And that's my fucking thing. And I've had a few of those. And well, I've every now and then I get those, and then they're not very often.
Yeah.
But they and it's something like they didn't. And it always goes back to them, right? If you guys have noticed, and what you'll see is what we just talked about. A lot of the times when people come in, and they don't let us decide on color, they don't let us decide on the shape. I understand the
Yeah,
shape. I understand because you're gonna wear these, but let us at the very least choose a color and the technique. And so when they don't do that, those are the first fucking people to complain.
No,
Yeah.
you know what I've seen too is like you'll be done and they're like, oh, you're missing one little spot right here, and you tell them just
yeah.
let it sit, it'll come back.
yes.
Even they refuse to, and you end up doing it, and then they end up bitching about it later.
yeah.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. So those people get all tough on the phone, on the
Text.
phone, on text, on DMs. They get all tough, and then they come in. And they're like, oh, no, what do you think? I'm like, well, you're the one that was fucking talking all this shit.
Yeah.
Like, what? I'm not fucking thinking nothing
Look
at
at
this
she's
point.
getting spicy
I
right
am.
now.
I am.
Let it out.
Look at
You
that.
know, like, And I understand it because you don't want to look a certain way. It's on your face, but honestly, like nobody knows but you. Like just trust the process.
Exactly. And I feel like a lot of people don't trust the process.
Well, there's a reason too. They're paying you and going to you.
They're coming to you because you're the expert, and it's like
because they saw your work, right? And they like what they see. That's all you can give them, you know. Like it's not like you can show them what it's gonna look. As far as the color, now that you're seeing it, like with my clients, I'm like, how do I explain color to you? You know, because it's not like they know the brand. They don't know what they're all composed of. So like, how do you explain color? You just kind of like have to tell them like, I'm gonna give you something natural, or you know, whatever it is. So it's fucking hard. Like when they're like coming here demanding. Also, I think there's a way that they like. If that were to be the case, I feel like there's a way that they can come and approach like, hey, like maybe I think shape is a little bit off. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or something, you know, but the way they approach.
Be human. Yeah. Be nice.
Be nice about it.
Be polite about it. Either way, I'm the artist, so I could fuck about it.
I won't.
No more noble brows.
she just went back to dishes. But I feel like a lot of these times it's just educating your client.
Yeah.
And so I try to educate my client to a certain extent. Like I'm not going to talk about like, this color is 77266 and it's carbon. I'm not going to go into that. The molecule size and all that. So usually what I say is like, I'll put it in simpler terms. Like, you know how when they want something light brown and they're like, you know, like a deeper color, their skin they have more melanin, right? Yeah. So I usually like try to educate them in the simplest way possible. But I feel, and what I've noticed is that educating your client about post-care, educating your clients about how this thing that you're going to go through after your brows done is completely normal. That is the best thing that you could do for your client and for yourself. Yeah. You know, because one of the things that you don't want to get, and it happens, you know, a lot of the times people just want reassurance. And I have to remind myself that. Because I'm like, I fucking told you you're going to peel.
You know what we should do?
I fucking told you you're going to peel.
I just came up, we should make a video that we could send them. After the week mark, you're going through the peeling, this and that, this happening.
That's a good idea.
We should start doing that, sending it out.
And it'll be all three of us. And we can be like, you're going, and we can all say it at the same time. Through the peeling.
No, each one you guys can have a video, and we send it to your client, you know, specifically to your clients.
Because I feel like sometimes when we're explaining aftercare, they're in la la la.
Yeah,
they're so in love with their brows, and they've been there laying down for like 2-3 hours.
They're
like, they're ready.
Well, I think, too, we're in the Instagram and TikTok age. Nobody reads anymore. So you give them the papers, and they don't read them. So I think video is probably a good idea to do. So we're gonna be making videos,
putting
guys.
On our to-do list.
More videos.
Pin it up.
Yeah,
we'll have to do that.
It's on my sticky note already.
That's what we're gonna get. The sticky notes. Ask around where your business cards are.
Where they at?
Nobody gave me a.
That week that you and I talked, which was 2 weeks before you actually started, no? I told him about the business cards.
No, she told me about the logo, your signature logo, and then the business cards, and I spaced on the business cards and I did the logo. But to my defense, I got like a million things going on. Jatziry's got a peek behind the curtain, right?
Yeah.
How was it in the back end of the business?
No, those busy days are hectic. Like it's definitely something you have to be like present there, like mentally. You know what I mean? Like you can't come and like be fucking around in your mind. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you can come and like you can have conversations and shit like that. No, but like I feel with this, like you have to definitely like be there because you're having like 5 to 10 conversations all at once.
It's crazy, right? About a bunch of different dates and different wants and different and it's the same questions over and over.
And
it's repetitive yet different. You know what I mean? Like it's the same topic, but it's at different points of the conversation. For example, we started off like, have your brows ever been tattooed and microbladed, right? And then conversation moves on to like, okay, when would you like to see? Who would you like to book with? You know, so it's a lot. It's definitely a lot.
You still have to be personable with that person, like make it personal to them.
Yes.
Too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And on top of that, I got Claudia throwing me a million different things. Construction going, video editing. So come a little slack there, mujer.
Right? You were.
I know, right? See? I want a snack afterwards.
He's like, I want to stack my blanket and a pillow, please.
No, but seriously, the back end is a lot of work.
The back end is a lot of work.
I feel like I could not do what you guys do, like the messages. It's
like I'm good.
Honestly, I've said this a million times. So I was in construction before I started doing this. I get way more tired being on the computer and dealing with the messaging
And
stuff.
I see it.
I get wiped out by the end of
You
the day.
look
I'm fucking
drained.
done.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Like that
tiring.
one time that he didn't want to go out, right? You were
Oh my
just
God,
drained.
yeah, you
but
were
like,
just
Oh
tired.
yeah,
not
you guys are
even-
trying to peer pressure me and going out, and I was like,
Oh,
I was already
on
fucking
my
done.
birthday.
I
How rude.
He was being such a dad, but
Yeah, he
we get it. We get it.
I was the bad guy.
Nah, I
Yeah.
give you props for how well you held
Yeah.
down. You know, like you're like, no, I'm not going, and that was it. And you know, you didn't go, and that was good. It was good.
I would have
didn't
been no
even-
fun going out that night.
Yeah, there you go. There
Yeah,
you go.
it
That
was-
was
You
another.
would have. You get a few drinks and you, no
Maybe,
matter what.
but I was fucking
Yeah.
tired then.
True.
I was tired
You
as
were
shit.
tired.
Yeah.
You were,
Yeah.
but I noticed that like that day, like not even at the dinner, like that day, you were just kind of out of it, and it was a Saturday. It's already towards the end of our
Yeah.
week,
Yeah.
right? So yeah,
And it
you
was
can
past,
see it.
past our bedtime.
Yeah, I'm
was-
old,
yeah.
man. I'm in bed early.
Like, if we're going to drink, we got to start drinking at 3:30 p.m.
If
Your
I'm-
10 p.m. is not 3:30.
See, that night, I thought we were just going for dinner. If I know we're going out, I gotta prep. You know, I
gotta
gotta
prepare
take my vitamins.
You're like, I
do
gotta
some
mentally
stretching,
prepare. Yeah,
Yeah.
Gotta
Yeah.
hydrate before we start
hydrate. You
drinking.
know, it's a whole thing now. If I
Yeah,
go out,
it's
a
you
whole
know what I mean?
process.
true.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're going to a comedy club next weekend, so.
I know, I'm excited.
Just
I've
friend.
never
Honest-
been to any.
No,
You never-
oh, it's
oh
gonna be
my
your first
God. It's
comedy.
fun.
Yeah.
So
my
we've been,
first.
me and Claudia have been trying to do a lot of team stuff with
Yeah.
everybody. We've been trying to get all you guys involved in like
Yeah.
doing team outings and stuff. I think it builds like a culture. You know what I
It
mean?
does.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
And,
that way we don't just see it as work. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Well,
Yeah.
my thing has always been like I want to be in a place where I like being. I like the people I'm around, and you know. So for me, it's like we all have the same goal for the business.
Yeah.
So
Try to
you
build
know,
like a family. kind of
yeah,
almost.
and so we all work together for the same goal,
And we all
Yeah.
grow together.
and we all
Yes.
grow
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
So like what I've been telling you guys is like with what I've done and with my experience and doing this for like 14 years, I want to build us the next step
Yeah.
so we can all move up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, because like I feel like at this point, just being alone and like moving yourself up, it's like it's boring.
Boring.
You know, like
You're like, what next?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, what the fuck is the point? Like, if
Yeah.
you can't see it, for me, the best way that I can see growth is in what I invest in. And for me, my time and the efforts that I've made, I've invested in you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You know?
expanding, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Doing what
And-
you did, but expand.
In expanding, yes, but to me, what's more important than that, and expanding, yes, of course, but for me, part of that expanding is putting my knowledge and pouring it into something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And into you guys.
Yeah.
And so when I see like Vanya that's really proud of her brows, and when you're like, dude, I didn't do that bad. that for me is assertion that I've done something right.
Yeah.
You know, and it's
Aw.
like fun, and I'm not trying to take away from what you guys done
No,
because you
no,
guys
no,
have
no,
this
no.
natural talent.
Yeah.
But the fact that you guys are moving so fast, and the fact that like I always tell Vanya, like, you're where I was fucking 3 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and,
Vanya, you're
and,
fucking
and
killing
you
it.
will get there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
For
the
sure.
fact that you can do that, to me, is like, even if I helped a little bit,
Oh, you
that
helped a
Helped a
lot.
lot. Yeah. You helped us a lot.
Girl,
What do you mean?
you
even
helped
if it's
a
a little
lot.
bit though, like I feel like that for me fills my cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Are we crying
Yeah.
again?
Yeah.
Them
No,
crying.
yeah.
No, but we all get to grow together, and it's like
do.
I remember Jatziry, when you first came on, you were a little apprehensive. Well, if I go on there, it's like working for another company. Do I get to be
That must
myself?
have been hard.
Yeah.
That must have been
But-
hard for you.
But we don't want to hold you back from you expanding your own self on your own.
Yeah.
either, you know what I mean?
You know, and that's actually now I was thinking about it when you told me you're like you're kind of a little. I was like, wait, really? But I think now I see what you mean. It's just like coming from working for someone, you know, for so long, being like you're in this other like mind space. You know what I mean? Like I was in the mentality of just being like a corporate employee, just like going,
Yeah.
working, coming home, getting a paycheck, and that was it. You know, like I didn't feel like I could do much more for myself. And so then coming into here, I had like however long I was like on my own, basically. I started liking that, you know, and I could see like me building something like this. But now that I'm in it, I'm like, never mind. I don't want to be on my own. And then joining the team, you know, I was like, oh shit, like, am I back to where I was
Right,
at?
right.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm definitely not. No, because I'm still like myself within
Right.
a team.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and we want you to elevate yourself too. When
Yeah.
you elevate, it elevates all of us.
Exactly.
Each one as individuals.
Everyone
you know what I mean?
wins. Exactly. Yeah.
I know there's some places that try holding the girls back and
Yes.
the business, you know, they want to be in the front.
Exactly. Yeah.
But we like you guys being in the
Yeah.
front.
Yeah, to me, like that shit doesn't matter. Like I don't need to be seen as
Yeah.
the all end all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like if everybody sees me as like the end all and Claudia
Be
and Claudia
all.
this, then I failed as a leader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I think like if it's like the girls at then I've done something.
Yeah.
But if it's like Claudia, then I fucking failed because I couldn't bring anybody with me.
Yeah,
You couldn't bring them up.
And if you guys did decide to leave and do your own thing and open your own studio, we'd be proud of you guys. We'd be happy
We're
for you
not
guys.
But don't leave because
No, we're not.
I like you.
Yeah.
But it's essentially we want you guys to grow. We're not
Yeah.
we're not here to like hold you guys back at all. You know.
I love that because a lot of the, people that start like that, that's how it is. There's a leader and then there's just the people that follow, the little ducks. And here being with y'all, like not even a whole month, a full month, like I feel that. I go home and
It's pretty cool. It's a good feeling, right?
Yeah.
Like compared to where we were now. And
like I'm part of something, not just here.
But
Yes.
we're all
together.
part of it,
Yes.
Yeah.
And the only difference, I think, between myself and each other is that like you guys have given me room, so thank you. But you guys have given me space
To grow.
to grow us.
Yeah.
So I feel like, okay, let me build the next step for us, and then we slowly all move up.
Yeah.
And so then that's my job.
Yeah.
My job now is to grow all of us, to take the next step and grow all of us so that we can all grow.
It's like a pyramid.
Yeah.
You go up a step, we bring them up the next step, up step, up a
Exactly.
step. You know,
Yeah.
that's how we
Yeah.
get.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of places are not like that. Like we're
Yeah.
so lucky. Like I just want to say thank you. Thank you for like taking a chance on me,
thank you
on
guys,
us.
Thank you
Like,
guys for being part of the team.
it's
Man.
a big thing. Like I get to wake up and like I love going to work. It's
Yes.
not like a dread. Like I look forward to going to work. Like I love being around you guys.
Yeah.
I see you as like my
we
big
crying
sister.
again.
And big bro- like it's just really
Mi
nice.
papá.
No, it's a good feeling. Like it makes me so happy. Like I'm happy with my life right now. I could say
Right?
that.
Yeah.
Like I
And
love
then
my life.
you just bought a house.
Yes, everything's
Yeah.
falling
Vanya's
into
getting
place.
married.
Yes,
In a couple years, she's gonna have her first baby.
yes. So
It just feels like
Life
you're
is
doing
good.
life right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
life is good
Right,
right
but
now.
that's what I'm saying. Like, if we all build this together, like, if it comes to a time where any one of us is miserable, then like we failed somewhere. We all did.
Yeah.
I think the culture that we're building, all of us together, is fucking
Yeah.
awesome. I think it's
Right?
cool.
It
yeah.
is.
Yeah,
It is cool.
And I think in the past, like we've had other people, and I've told you, like I was like, I don't think this is gonna work. I
Yeah.
felt it.
Yeah,
From the
yeah, yeah.
beginning.
From the beginning when we've had other people in California too, and like I felt it, and I feel right. Like I feel really.
Like
Yeah.
we're moving in the right direction,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah,
we're
yeah.
paving the road to something big.
Yeah,
That's what
and-
excites me a lot.
Yeah, and you know what?
future.
Like especially like as we move up, I hope that you guys can pave that same road for somebody else, and,
Yeah.
and whatever case that may be.
Yeah.
Whether we open up a studios, sweet studios, or whether we open up the esthetician school. That's gonna be really
I'm
badass.
excited for that one. Yeah.
Like whatever it is, and pouring ourselves into something else so that we can bring
Yeah.
somebody else.
Yeah,
up.
well, you can't grow without a team, you know?
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
business
Correct.
is a team sport.
team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if you don't have a team or a culture around you, you're not going to grow. You're not going to build.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
with
that's what we're
anything, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you for sure. Like when you have a business, like you can't be the all, you know.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I mean, you can at the beginning, but then eventually, if you want to grow and
Well,
stuff
yeah,
like
and
that.
like I said, like it's so boring just being by yourself.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like, it's boring
Yeah.
because you create these things and then where does it go? It just stays in you. But if you give it away, then you're creating something else.
Yeah.
You know, and that's fun for me, like the growth part. And
Yeah,
stuff,
you do
and
like that
watching,
a lot.
Yeah, and watching you guys grow and like do good work. I'm
Badass.
like, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, it feels good.
It does, right?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So that's great. We're all cried out. We're all cried out.
I'm crying. I swear I'm not crying.
Yeah, you're
It's okay,
really-
Round.
It's okay. We're all crying together.
You could cry when we leave the room.
I'll cry later in my office.
I
You
know,
will. You will. It's okay.
All right, guys. So I think that's it. That's all we have for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation that we all had. Again, I think for me, it's really important that when you grow with other people. Otherwise, like, what the fuck is the point?
I think
Yeah.
if you have a spot or a space, try to build a culture, get the people around you, a team, and try to build a
And get the
a
right
culture.
people.
Yeah, get
I
the
was
right
I
just
feel
people.
like
about
you
to
have
say
to feel it.
Get the
You
right
have to
people.
feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't be a gatekeeper either.
Yeah,
'Cause
don't
you'll
be-
never grow as a gatekeeper.
No,
Yeah.
you don't. And it
Yeah.
doesn't matter what you give away because you're still you and you'll still have clients and like seeing yourself with competition and with everybody is
Yeah.
like
Not it.
You
Yeah.
guys have anything you want to say or any shout outs? Shout out
Book your
to George.
appointments.
Book your appointment. So again, you can find Vanya at
Aesthetics x Vania _ on Instagram.
in Jatziry.
And you can find me at Vicious Brows, Noble Brows,
Maybe, possibly.
Vicious Brows on Instagram.
All right, guys. So that's all we have.